Step 3, guys. Now this is the most important step if you want to survive on DarkRp. We've got our money coming in now, we've got our own place, but what is next? But if you don't do this stage, guys, I will guarantee you will get raided. That money printer down there that is giving you all this lovely money is going to be gone by people who want to steal it. And what you need to do is mount defences. You need to pretty much, and I do mean this quite literally, defend the shit out of your room. And the way we do that is very simply by building a defence. Now all you've got to do is you've got to get something similar to this. I'm using the PHX props. Pretty much nowadays it is already included in your Gmod, so there's no extra downloading or anything like that. You can find it under builder and then general. This is a 2x3 plate. All you've got to do is go to what I like to use, the precision tool, click on weld, and then at the bottom here it will do what's known as ghosting, and then you can pretty much try and line this up as close as you can against the door. You want this against your door, guys. This is very, very important. I'll show you why in just a second. Now what I have here, everyone, is a 1x3. Now 1x3 is going to be our next important bit to this awesomeness that we are going to be creating. All you've got to do is slightly put that inside the 2x3 that we have up top. Sorry, yeah, it is a 2x3. And then click that. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So now I know it looks a bit stupid at the moment, but don't worry, this is going to be for awesome defense. Now, I do promise you this. Now, as you can see, we left a purpose gap underneath, and that is for one very important reason. When they come through this door here, they will not be able to really see this gap nor see underneath it. However, when you're on this side, as long as you're further back and you got a rifle or some sort, you can shoot their feet. Now I do recommend this to pretty much anyone who's new at building. It's a very cheeky but very easy setup, and it does always serve a purpose. Now what I always like to do is to add on top of this. All you get is a simple 1x3 yet again. Use the precision tool that I showed you before, and then just leave that gap again underneath, but then just put it on the floor, and then you just want to move this up just a slightly little bit so it puts it as an angle. That way it just kind of defends you, because they cannot see up, but you can see absolutely perfectly fine straight down. So what you want to do as well is you want to put keypads and you want to put doors right here, so then people can't just like walk straight in. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Now the best kind of mechanism for this kind of device is, since you've got this right here right now, you want to push people as far up to this wall as possible to give you the best chance of shooting the feet. You don't want them back here because you probably won't be able to see back here from that angle. So all you've got to do is pretty much force them to stand here. Now putting an obstruction in that path is probably the best way to do that, and this is where these little blocks come in right here. Now all you got to do is pick something that looks like it's going to block them pretty well, which is something like this, and push them to that side that you want. I'm going to say about here, because you don't want to put this something like this like there, because when they open this door here and this is there, this door will get lodged in this block, and you don't want that, because that way then when they leave or when you kill them, you won't be able to close this door again, and you want to make sure this door is free, because you want to lock that door because it's like an extra layer of protection. So you've got to kind of visualize where this door is going to be opening. So I think about here for this block will be absolutely fine. There we go. And what this is going to do is, yeah, people will easily be able to stand here, but we're going to put the door and the keypad right here. So they're having no choice but to get pushed into this tiny little space where you can easily shoot the feet. And all you got to do for the door, which is what I always recommend you do, and I do have a very, 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 very specific reason why you do this, is to put in a fence. Now I know what people are going to say, oh, but you can shoot through fences and they'll just kill you, yada yada yada. I know they can, but there is a very good reason to why I choose a fence. All you got to do is very simple. Put the fence there, and then just making sure it's all nice and neat, because I do like things being rather neat, and put that in there. And then all you gotta do is put the fading door, pick a button that you want to set as your fading door, so when only you press it you can get through. But I'm going to show you a really cool and neat trick in a second. make sure you click it, that goes green, and then you press 1, and there you go, you've got a fade-in door. Nice and simple. But on this server, and probably every single other RP server, oh, I've got people trying to break in again. But on this server and every single other RP server I've ever played on, you need to have a keypad, otherwise you probably will get kicked for prop locking. So you set this side, which is access granted, to the number that you've just picked for the fade-in door. So when you press 1, it goes out, and when you press 1 on that, it goes out. Make sure you pick a small password. I've kept mine nice and simple, 2211. But the chances of getting password, guys, you can pick a 4-digit one, but the chance of actually getting passwords on this is virtually next to nothing, and people just don't guess them. So you can pick them up. You can pretty much pick absolutely anything, and you should be more or less fine. Make sure you put a keypad on one side and the other side, because admins like to be quite anal about this. Trust me, I've had many arguments with admins about this. Now, what I'm going to do is put one there. So, this is the whole idea, guys. They have to literally come in this small gap here that I've forced them to come across and come into, where they can just pretty much get their feet blown off. So, as you can see, 2, 2, 1, 1. Go to OK. And then you set that for a number of seconds, and then when that goes off, the door will go back. The minimal timer I would normally say on is between 3 and 5 seconds. More servers, you need to check the rules on this, but most servers require 5 seconds minimal, so then it can't be counted as fade-in door abuse. So why did I leave this section right here, like where people can shoot you from? I mean, who wants to get shot? And there is a really good reason, because it's not for them to shoot in, even though they will be doing that, but it's for you to shoot out. And I'm going to show you a really cool and neat trick that I've picked up along my many years of playing this game, that I've found out with other people. All you want to do, oh, we had a bit of lag there. All you want to do is get a 2x1 of a metal plate, because you cannot shoot through this. Like, if they have a server with M9K weapons, which means that they can shoot through these plastic thin pieces of things, which I'll show you in a minute. How we're going to armor-proof this, but basically they can actually shoot through these props as well, but it won't do as much damage because it's got to travel. The bullet has to travel through a prop and then into you. So it only does, like, I think it's like 15-20 damage, which is absolutely fine. But through steel, which is what this is, it's a PHX plate, they cannot actually fire through this, even with a high caliber rifle. So you are actually fine. This is armor plating. And what you want to do is you want to put this a little further back from your door, making sure that you use a precision tool, not like I was trying to do. I was just trying to be smart. Set it back nice and neat. Make sure everything's nice and neat, guys, because admins also don't like messy people's designs. It doesn't go down very well. Oh, looks like I'm getting a bit of lag again. Oh, there we go. And that's something that you want. Now, this doesn't look very good by itself, and this is where the next little inventive trick that I've figured comes in. What you want to do is get another 2x1. Make sure it's a metal plate, guys, because otherwise I will guarantee you do this with plastic, you will get shot. And I want you to make sure you put it at a very tiny angle. So making sure there's a very tiny gap. I'm talking this gap has to be ridiculously small for this to work. So I say about there. And then we lift this back up, and as you can see, I have left the smallest gap you've ever seen in your entire life. Oh, and it looks like our server has just crashed. Alright, well, welcome back. And I've been so kindly has put me into this spot on his server, so we won't get disturbed like we was being before. But anyway, so what you want is something like this, where there has the most tiniest of little gaps in between there, and there is a very good reason for this, which I will show you right now. What you want to do is you want to get one of these little block things, and you want to put it just underneath. Make sure that you can jump in and see through the gap. If you can't, then just move it a little bit further down. Just keep on doing this until you get it just right. Oh, you want to be a little bit further up. You want to be about, oh, a bit more further up. About there, maybe. No, a bit further down. you want to keep doing this until you get it just right, and there is a really good reason for this. A bit further up. About there should be. Yep, fine. Now, the reason being is you can get a gun, and you can shoot through this tiny little gap, and the bullets will actually go through. And the best thing about this is, if you look from this distance, which is where if you open that door, like I showed you before, you open the door, and you cannot see through that gap, no matter how much you shoot. There's no way on Earth they're going to be shooting that gun, and it's going to be going through this tiny little gap, the bullets, because they're not close enough to even get to you. And then you have to, only if they had that little block on this side, and they could somehow like see you through that small gap anyway, and be able to shoot a gun directly through that, would they even be able to shoot you? As long as you are at a distance and they're coming through the door, there is no way on Earth they can shoot you through this gap. And you can set this up in any base, right next to a door. Just make sure it's a little further back than a door, but you can still see the door. And I've said door like 4 times now, but as long as you can still see everything, and they're coming in and trying to like hack your keypad, which will probably be on this side like on before, and then you can still get your friends to like shoot their feet and whatnot, and then you just pretty much pick them off using this design. Now that I've learned how to do this in the past, is where you put 2 blocks in, and then making sure you can crouch jump inside of it, because crouch jumping is important. And if you do that, then it kind of holds you on this block, and you don't have to keep on pressing your crouch, and you can use a gun to shoot through that, and it kind of takes the whole idea away from you. And that is basically how you can build a really epic door defense. Now, however, on this server, like I said, you can only get these kind of plastic props, which you can actually shoot through. This is where I like to use what I like to call the stacker tool, and then making sure that you can pile it up in front of the door, which is like this. All you have to do is, even this is restricted, which is amazing. Okay, all you gotta do then is you gotta manually do it. So just get one of these again, and just basically double everything up. And as long as you put 2 of these down instead of just 1. Right, guys, them are the very first 3 rules that you need to know when you first come into a server. Is find a base, making sure that it's in a good position, put in a money printer, and then you need to put epic defense down. That way then, when you first come out the doors into this incredible, insanely, very well deathmatch world, as I like to call it, that you will have enough money then to go into a gun store, get your first weapon, and then go and do other things from there. But I will be taking that up on another what to do after the 3 steps tutorial very, 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 very soon. But I hope you like this video, guys, and if you do, submit a comment, subscribe, and I will come up with more of these tutorials for you. But for now, my name is GarrysMod, and I am now signing off. Goodbye, everyone. So, Frank, thank you for joining me here today. So, how long have you been playing DarkRp?
I would say about 2 years, but with very long breaks.
So, if you could give a new person or a new starter some advice when they first come into DarkRp, what would it be?
Let's just say my own life is very boring, and this one isn't.
So do you like playing on the DarkRp servers?
Well, I think so, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
And that is totally true. So, if you had to pick a weapon, what weapon would be your favorite to use as self-defense in DarkRp?
None.
None? And why is that?
None. Because I play DarkRp for RPing, not for killing.
And that is a very good message to everyone. Thank you very much, Frank.
You are welcome.
So, Naru, I hear that you are the CEO for this server, is that correct?
Yes.
So, how long have you been playing on this server for?
7 months.
Oh, okay. And would you say that this server is better than some servers, or would you say it's like average?
I wouldn't say that the server is better. I think the server is about average, but I really like the community here.
What is your favorite ice cream?
Vanilla.
There is a TV behind your head, and there are people.
Don't worry, I didn't know.
And do you enforce on these, on this server? Do you enforce a fair use policy? So if people get banned, then they have the chance to redeem themselves and get unbanned.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, Naru. I don't want to keep you because I know that you are incredibly busy.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you very much.